Evening, everyone, and welcome back. We got another live, as we always do. Of course, Tuesday game, but going to be talking about, of course, the masterclass, which was on yesterday. Obviously, really good performance, plenty of stuff to talk about. Good to see 14 people were waiting, so I really appreciate that. Of course, appreciate the continued support as always. I know a lot of you enjoy the lives and, of course, watching back as well. But yeah, as always, get your comments in. Do hit the like button. Let's see if we can get 40 likes like the last stream. And yeah, just keep up the amazing support. Of course, if you missed, of course, I messed up because I was going to do the reaction of yesterday. I was going to do it yesterday, and then I said this morning. And then I feel a little bit better now, but finally got it out. So go and check out the reaction if you haven't already, if you want my overall thoughts. But yeah, big up to Bristol Rovers fan in the chat. Luke saying up the gas. Come on, yeah, we're there. We are live. Big up to Wayne as well. Up the coach gas, selfie gas. Big up to Matt as well. Yeah, spectacular victory, and big up to Gordo 2.0 as always tuning in. But yeah, of course, there's a code on the thing if you want to use FanHub. Then feel free to use it. I've got it scrolling down. But yeah, we've got Neil on and Benji on. Of course, Benji, glad to see he's not feeling as bad as he did this morning. But yeah, how you lads both doing?
Good and hungover, you?
Yeah, all good. Well, I say all good. I'm still feeling awful. It's not COVID, thank God. But yeah, a lot better than I did. It was sort of like mid-game, and I don't know what it was. I just felt weak and stuff, but I still got a cold and a temperature. But it's not COVID, so thank God for that. But yeah,
Neil, just a hangover.
No, I didn't even drink yesterday. I didn't have nothing. But yeah, Neil, how are you after yesterday?
Perfect, mate. Nothing wrong with me. I'm all right.
Yeah, so good. But yeah, of course, getting into it, as we always do, talk about the previous game, which was, of course, the masterclass yesterday. Of course, Rovers winning 4-0. And yeah, unchanged again, which was only the sort of few times we've done it this season. But getting onto your thoughts, Neil, first. What did you make of the lineup and just the way we played and also Stevenage?
It sort of approached it and played it out pretty much as I thought they would do, to be honest. I didn't think I thought what they did off the back of Tuesday would set up and be perfect for what Stevenage had to offer. Yeah. As far as what we spoke about in the week as them being age inside. I mean, that midfield, that's a midfield of between them, that's over 100. Do you know what I mean? They were never going to live with us. That's what I mean. That's what I said in the week. Start moving the ball, they'll be out on their feet like the last quarter of the game. But it played out a lot quicker than I thought it would do because they were gone by half time. They were absolutely chasing shadows by half time. And I said to you, like, the last thing you want now at 1-0 was half time to come. You just want to keep going because you never know how Rovers are going to come out after having 15 minutes rest, downtime, and if they're going to start as quick as they did. Thankfully, they did. Yeah. But that game was over with long before the hour. That game was done. Like that for me, that is basically what Swindon came and did to us. That performance, they had no answer to anything that we had. Then they tried their hardest. Obviously, the pitch was what it was. They'd obviously left it long, choppy as best they could, but we got it down and moved it so well. I mean, I thought the first sort of 15 minutes, Rovers just had a look at them. They didn't probe too hard. They didn't get, they weren't too adventurous. They just kept the ball and had a look at Stevenage to see what they had to offer. And I thought you'd get to they got to the 20, 25 minute mark. Coots basically said to Finley, I ain't got no problems in here now. We know what they're about. Go and play as a front four, basically. Go and join in with Elliot Anderson. And we just started to press, that little bit, 5 yards, 10 yards higher. Our starting positions were all high, suffocated them. Couldn't get the ball off of us all game. And I mean, the fourth goal shows you just how tired they were. They were a shambles. Like, there was no way in the hell Collins should be winning that ball. Like, Cuthbert was all over the place. They were shattered, absolutely shattered. Like, from when the ball goes in to Pim making the save, he's got no right to win that ball, Collins. Like, if at the start of the game, they should be absolutely clearing that up. Simple. They were dead. They were absolutely dead, Stevenage. Take them a long time to recover from that as well, because I bet they were chasing pretty much all game. like I said, it's as close to basically what Swindon came to did to us in sort of October. And it played out the way it should have done, go up against an Asian side, keep the ball off of them, moving, get them running and chasing, and then it will take care of itself. And it's a game pretty much like the Sutton one where we've taken it out of an official's hands. We just dealt with it. We don't need to rely on anything now. We've bagged 4 and we've still not been clinical for me. Pretty much Joey said in the interview, we could have had 9 or 10. And if we continue to play like that, I'm not saying we will do, because like I said the other day, we still got that Oldham performance in us. But if we continue to motor on like this, someone's going to be on the end of a real Iden if they ain't careful.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, and like everyone said, Barton as well, could have been 8 or 9. And yeah, I mean, it's exactly right. We weren't even clinical, really. The amount of chances we had, and of course, some players missing chances. Matt's saying if we beat weaker teams like that, then our chances against better teams are good. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a good test this week, really. Orient, of course, we know they're struggling at the moment, but I think it'll still be a tough game. They had a bit of a rest as well because their game was called off yesterday. And they'll be definitely up for it. They're going to want to do the double over us and sort their format, and then Exeter at home. So it would be nice to put in a good performance and hopefully get a win on Tuesday night and then take it into Exeter. And that should be a really big attendance and, a good crowd as well, and a tough test against the Exeter team on very good form. Charlie Webb, big up to you as always, tuning in. Yeah, I'll be there. All 3 of us are going. And plenty of other gas heads. I think there should be quite a lot, probably 800 if you include Pell on the day, maybe even more, depends. Big up to Lars as well, like watching Brazil on Saturday, headband gas, a bit dizzy on the way back. Orient going to be class. Yeah, fingers crossed. How's the Coach 1 romance going? I don't Leanne was being such an idiot yesterday, honestly. But yeah, she just loves it. But yeah, big up for tuning in, Craig, as well. How do you rate the Newport defeat compared to the Swindon? It was basically the same, wasn't it? There ain't really basically the same.
Well, the scoreline was pretty much, it was what it was. But Swindon just they moved us so much better. We didn't have an answer to Swindon. Just like I said, Stevenage didn't have an answer to us. I thought Newport was just they were a bit more dogged. They won second balls. They were far more aggressive and lively than we were. The Swindon game, they just moved us to the point where we was dead. Come 70 minutes.
Yeah,
that's where I think the game was more. It was more similar to the Swindon game because they just moved us. They kept moving us, and the ball was never dead. Newport was a bit more direct and a bit more win second balls, get in your face, flat 5 across the middle sort of thing. Yeah, the Swindon one was more similar for me.
Yeah, and of course as well, it's completely different now. Of course, back then we were, not fit at all, and now you've seen us even yesterday, 90 minutes trying to get more and more and just keep attacking and running forward. Big up to Tom, as always, just tuned in. Awesome performance, lads. Up the gas, yeah, absolutely. Stevenage have set up a side basically to keep them up this season. Well, even then, like I said on my reaction, they're the worst team even though we were really good and sort of it took us a while to get going. But then once we did, they just couldn't handle us, and I thought they were poor, and they'll be there or thereabouts of relegation for me personally. I don't know what you guys think, but yeah, getting into your thoughts, Benji. Again, of course, unchanged lineup. What did you make of us and Stevenage as well as a performance?
It was like watching a first team versus reserves training session at parts, wasn't it? I mean, Belshaw might as well have just got a deck chair out and sat there for most of the game. Most pleasing thing for me was progression. We should have stuck 6 or 7 past Sutton on Tuesday night, and then we've improved our goal tally and still should have added another few to that as well. So actually we're progressing, we're scoring more, becoming slightly more clinical, but like Neil said, we're not that clinical yet. So that just shows that Barton said we're not at even at 60-70% yet. So it's kind of frightening what we're going to do to a team once we get to that to that level. Yeah, but we just grew so well into the game. I think that they're an Asian side, and they showed that. I saw a tweet somewhere on Twitter where someone said that we basically retired their midfield. They're both two ex, Gas. Well, Upson's not a legend, but Lindsay is. Two ex Gas, fan favourites, and then we passed them off the park. They were so legless that they had no energy to deal with us, and that just showed. You could actually see, particularly on Christy Pym in the second half, because we're obviously right up next to him. His face just looked so downtrodden, and that was like the mood of the whole squad. So we passed him off the park. Elliot Anderson was so good. That the way he just wants the ball anywhere it is, and he'll just make a run anywhere into space. He'll turn someone. He just does it so simply as well. He just makes it look so easy. So a cracking performance. The only annoying thing was that Nichols didn't score as well. I know he got 2 assists, but his performance was fantastic. They couldn't cope with him cutting in and running across the front of their lines. He could have scored a few. Could have had a hat trick of assists as well. So I think there's only positives from there, really. So onwards and upwards.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, like you both said, that's what it is. With Tisdale getting his ex players where he's put, Jake Taylor and Christy Pym at Exeter, of course. Lines and Upson. Well, we didn't have Lines. Lines was already there, but yeah, Upson there. Westbrook, of course, he couldn't play, but yeah, it's just you just seen it as well. I remember in the first half, Elliot Anderson was just toying with Boswick, and Boswick was like, and he had to take him out in the end because he was just taking the mick. And like you said, he wouldn't even. It was just the way he was gliding the ball, and he said in his interview, he's that sort of player. He always wants the ball, and even when we weren't attacking, even when we were just keeping the ball in the first half, that's the way to tire out a team. And they, like you said, like Neil said as well, they looked absolutely knackered come half time as well. And second half, it didn't improve for them. Big up to Morgan as well. Might not see you at Rochdale away because I might be getting a banning order for pitch invading at Scunthorpe. fair play for the win, though. Seeing you 1-0 down. But yeah, I mean, it gets annoying because I know it's always been a thing, but I've never done it, but I sort of feel for some people when they get banning orders or whatever for pitch invading, but that's how it is. But yeah, I will be there. But yeah, just let me know if you don't get a banning order. Even into BRC Tom as well, always supporting the channel. Big up to you. Gordo saying Exeter will be a game to gouge. Where in terms of what's going to happen come the end of the season. Even into Gas at 95, even in gents, what are our chances of keeping Taylor, Connolly, Elliot Anderson beyond the season? Interesting question. What's your thoughts, Neil, on that? Do you think if we go up, we can maybe get them on loan again, or what do you think?
That's your best opportunity playing in a higher division because Stoke they've all got loan managers, haven't they? And they monitor their performances. Taylor's definitely going to be earmarked to play in a higher division. He's definitely going to be earmarked for a League One club next season. If Elliot Anderson keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to wind up in a higher division. And to be fair, he's gone under the radar for me, Connolly. He's been excellent. He's been really, really good. And he goes under the radar just because, he looks like the boy next door and he don't get involved in too much. He just does the basic. He defends first. I think they complement each other really well. Yeah. And if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to be earmarked to play in a high division as well on probably a season-long loan somewhere. So, yeah, that's your best opportunity getting up.
Yeah, I agree. Benji, what about you? Do you sort of agree on that?
If we don't go up, zero chance of Taylor and Elliot Anderson staying. Connor Taylor's got, given one more year and he's going to be in the Stoke first team, undoubtedly. He just oozes class, doesn't he? He's got all the attributes as well, and he's physically fit, he's tall, he's strong, great character as well. Connolly, actually, I could see us keeping Connolly. Don't forget that he hasn't played a minute of senior football before he started for us against Peterborough last month. So his progression could be best off here with us, particularly if they know that we're going to be a top end side, even if we don't go up next year. But yeah, Elliot Anderson, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't keep him, to be honest, as well. I think he's a similar quality to Taylor. Obviously, they do different roles in the team, but Elliot Anderson's just going to be at a higher league. So if we don't go up, I don't think we've got any chance of keeping them. And then the worry is, do we keep Evans as well? Because obviously he's on he's not on a loan, but he's only on a 1-year deal, which expires at the end of the season. So, if we don't go up, I don't know if we can keep Evans either. I would hope so, but you just got to see.
Yeah, exactly. See what happens. But like they say as well, never fall in love with a lone player because they could be only be
McCormick last season as well. Yeah,
McCormick as well. Yeah. Matt saying, never mind Belshaw Yokola Award. Could have had what was it, Neil? Bonus in it. Could have had bonus in goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Evening to Chris as well. Appreciate you tuning in. Have to keep the momentum now. Play for 90 minutes every game. Can't afford any more Oldham type results. Yeah, I agree. That's what I said. You just got to keep doing what we're doing. And like Elliot Anderson said it as well in his interview. If you haven't watched it, it's on Twitter. But he said as well, when we keep it on the floor, we're one of the best teams to do that, and it suits our squad, especially the three in the middle we got yesterday. And yeah, like you said, whenever we hoof the ball, it just doesn't work. So you just got to keep it on the floor. I know teams, and especially Orient, are like that as well. Quite a physical and tall team, with 2 6-foot+ strikers and a tall team overall. So yeah, big up to Mike as well. Evening, boys. Mike here from the interviews. Big up to you as well. Get your thoughts on in the comments as well. Big up to Harry as well. Can't believe you went watch Dave yesterday instead of the Gas. Disappointing that. But yeah, big up to you, arrogant hypocrite Gas. Yeah. Lewis Bailey got chucked out of Walsall but isn't banned. Big up to Mike as well. I was surprised Tisdale gave our boys today off. I'd have had him training today. Big up to Charlie as well. Oh, Ferguson's finally left Peterborough, has he?
Wow.
I'm not surprised.
Is that just now?
Should have been sacked. Yeah, I should imagine should have been sacked months ago.
It's an interesting one, Ferguson, as well, because DMAC loves him. He absolutely loves him, and he's saying that there's no chance of him going, and if he goes, then I'm going, and all this stuff. So they gave him a new contract a few months back, and that was a shambles. And he's just done it because he's his mate, and he obviously backs him. And they think the problem at Peterborough United they've got is that they don't have the money. Darryl was saying that they need to pay between 20 and 40k a week to get the players that they need to improve and stay in the Championship. But instead, they've just got starlets on loan. They haven't got any real experienced people apart from someone like Marriott. And so they're just going to be a yo-yo club unless they get investment. I don't know who would want that job right now, unless there's someone who's top end League One manager that wants that. But someone might be taking that with eyes on next season. But then, would you want a relegation on your CV? The thing is, they've still got a great chance. But when you lose to a 92nd minute goal at Derby, that's not the stuffing right out of your season. So I don't know if I want the job right now, but it'll be a great job next season. Yeah,
it should be interesting to see. Maybe chance of going there next season at 0 again if we go up.
That, mate.
Tom said Taylor joining on a free, in my opinion. I wish. Josh saying who up the Gas as always. Appreciate you tuning in and the support. Appreciate everyone's support as always. If you do, or if you are enjoying it, please do hit the like button. Nearly 40 of you in. Let's see if we can smash 40 likes. Read someone at Newcastle value Anderson at 20 million. Not surprised if he carries on and keeps going out the leagues, then he can be anywhere, any player that he wants to be. Really, he's got all the tools. Mike saying, I fancy you to go up. Best side we've seen this season, bar Forest Green. Hopefully, look. But, like I said, even though I thought we played class, controlled it, they weren't really, Stevenage were really poor. Like, they're definitely the worst team I've seen this season. And, I think it could be, hopefully for your sake, you stay up. But, I just didn't get, what Tisdale was trying to do, even with the lineup, even playing what Jamie Reid, who's a striker, on, like, the left wing.
Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Not knowing what Tisdale was trying to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Where that from?
Yeah, clueless Tiz. He always does. Only a matter of time. Charlie surprised he lasted as long as he did. Yeah, I agree with Ferguson. You're not that far off. 5 points behind, a lot to play for. Yeah, exactly. Like it says on the title of the stream at the end, 16 to go. So, 16 big games left. Big up to Harry as well. Hearing reports that Eric. I'm not going to say that bit. You try to get me there. Ferguson going is dreadful. One of us, because the keeper pin might actually end up going back there, and he was only. Yeah, exactly. He pulled off a lot of saves yesterday, even though it was 4-0. Peterborough will end up with Squeaky Johnson. Jono coming back next season. Not a prediction. It's a spoiler. Yeah, but there was a comment going back. I think it was from Matt's, go with you, Neil. Who was your man of the match yesterday? I know there was a lot of quality performances, but if there was one standout for you, who would it be?
It's hard to pick, isn't it? They were all on their job yesterday. Like no one really was off it. They was all bang at it. Elliot Anderson obviously did his bit, and he's come on again he's backed it up, his performance from Tuesday. I thought Harry Anderson was good again. I mean, his goal, I thought that's the best of the lot. He's got a lot to do there on that finish. He's made it look so easy, but he's got loads to do there to find that corner. Thought he took that goal really well. Collins again tirelessly. Sammy Nick on the right hand side again. He's just live, isn't he? He's just live all game when he plays on the right hand side. It's hard to pick, to be honest. But I suppose you'd have to go with Elliot Anderson at the end of the day. He's got his assist, he's got his goal. Do you know what I mean? He's cracked on from the Tuesday night. So yeah, you probably just give it to him.
Yeah. I agree. I thought he was quality. Just the way he sort of controls games, and the way he went with the ball, don't do nothing stupid, keeps it moving. Got skill. Sometimes I feel I mean, it's the same with a lot of young players where if they go on loan, if they're a Premier League club, sometimes they do keep on to it a little bit longer than they should, but I can't take anything away. You know, he was class, you know, like you said, got a great assist for Anderson's goal, got a goal himself, really good finish. What about you, Benji? Do you agree? And if you do agree, what other star performers were there for you?
Yeah, I have to agree. Elliot Anderson just oozes class, doesn't he? Just like I said earlier, the way he always wants the ball, and it's so important for like attacking or rather forward midfielder. And you just have to give it to him because he was the best player on the pitch. But that Finley was another contender for me. Just controls the game, and Finley's so class because he's got this agility that he can just turn out of any situation. So good passing the ball. Another great finish as well. It's not the first one this season as well. Nicholson, fantastic. The effort he puts in. I was disappointed for him that he didn't get the goal because he just deserved it. And I don't think Collins could have had a hat trick as well. So if he did, then he'd probably be man of the match. But Harry Anderson, I've just written a piece in the post on the column saying that he's just benefiting he's had a little run out of the team. He has some niggles, but he's benefiting from playing in his natural position on the wing. But that's also been helped, the defensive side of his game by playing out of position at wing back. And having him like with direct running and his pace and his tenacity is just is fantastic. So, but how do people like Evans get back in the team now? I'm sure we'll find a way, and that'll probably be through rest and rotation. But yeah, so many contenders, outstanding all over the park.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, like you said about Harry, it's just good to. Well, it's pretty lucky, really, that we've got Luca Hall. Otherwise, he'd probably still be playing right back or wing back. Luca Hall again. Won literally everything yesterday. Again, quality, very solid defensively, and it's good that he's got a bit of pace, and also he's got the height as well to go with it. I think he's like 5'11", 6 foot, so that makes it very good as well. And yeah, like you said, everyone can't really moan. Anderton always solid. Belshaw didn't have hardly anything to do really until the last few minutes, but again made 2 really good saves. Mike saying, as I was saying on Twitter, our April is massive. Yeah, exactly. Well, pretty much every game now is massive. Yeah, Hayner hasn't fell for it. Joey's taking us to the Prem. Fingers crossed. Toss up between Finley and Elliot Anderson. Yeah, again, Finley, lads, what do you make of it? Big up to Harry Barter tuning in as well. Hope you're well, mate. Appreciate you tuning in. But yeah, going with you now. He just seems to get better and better, Finley, doesn't he?
Yeah, but again, Finley's another one. He benefits from our ball retention. When the ball's being bypassed and we're going around corners all game, he's lost. Do you know what I mean? But he's not lost, but he's just not ineffective. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't want to be running onto knock-ons and drop downs for second balls. He benefits so much from ball retention and moving through the lines and being involved. When we're allowing him to push on from Coots and go and join in, that's like our ball retention is probably, it's got to be like, I haven't seen every side, but it's got to be up there as one of the best in the league. You know what I mean? When we get it down and move it with a purpose, not just move it for the sake of moving it like we have done in previous weeks where we haven't really opened anyone up. since we've had inverted wingers, we've been a real threat in the final third. And we've been able to, move the ball back to front, work around that horseshoe, get it into decent pockets. Finley benefits from all of that because that's his game.
Yeah, I agree. Big up to Mike as well, saying Joey Barton's banner was class, by the way. There was a bloke who started giving it to him, so every goal you scored, they celebrated. Yeah, gotta love it. Even into Paul as well. How you, Charlie? How you doing, mate? Great win. Yeah, always good, mate. Appreciate his support, and yeah, very, very good win. Tom's at it now. Don't worry, I'm not falling for this. Mike saying he loves the wind up is pretty funny, to be fair, especially the fourth one where he's like, "Oh, you're going now." Yeah. What coach am I on? Should be coach 5. Leanne was saying, "Oh, you're on coach 1." I'm not. I'm on coach 5 for Tuesday. Always rated Luca. Look at my tweet from July 2021. Yeah, I really like him as well. Highlights for us is that when we were bringing on Andrade and hundreds walked out when they saw that sub. Yeah, exactly. Big up to the Cure Galore 94. May not be the right form for him, but wanted to give a shout out to Daryl Clark. He's on bereavement leave due to family death. Hope all gas. Join me, wishing him well. Always welcome back. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we've all said our part last week, and yeah, it was great to see on Twitter as well the Port Vale fans at the game yesterday, and yeah, hopefully he comes back well and recovers from the loss in his family. Mike saying Elliot Anderson, my man of the match. He looked class. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, talking about Sam Finley, Benji, and just the way in midfield. What did you make of him?
Fantastic. I just waxed lyrical about him a few minutes ago. For me, his agility is amazing, but his range of passing is so good. If he gets his foot on the ball, then he's always got his head up, and he's a creator as well. And we're so lucky to have so many different pacey, skilled creators in our team. Elliot and Harry Anderson, Sam Finley, Anthony Evans, Collins, Nicholson, Thomas. We've got loads of them in our team. But for someone who's also tough and tenacious in the tackle, and for someone of such a diminutive size, like he still lets himself be felt in the midfield, strong in the tackle. And I always love a player whose aggression and tenacity is as strong as Finley's is. So again, another player who should not be in League Two as well. And really hope that someone doesn't come in and nick him for next season.
Yeah. Thank God we got him, really, because even I remember when Nappers as well, Cod's vlog, shout out to Nappers, he was saying that how the hell is Barton managed to bring Finley, but obviously because he knows him as well, and Scouse Gas as always, big up the Scouse Gas, and yeah, what a signing he's been, we all talked about him and Coots, at the start of the season weren't fit, had COVID, etc. But since we've got him, and that's really for me, that's for me the biggest difference is that now we've just got everyone fit, and a lot of the time this season we've had a lot of course we've had loads of injuries, etc. But now, we've got pretty much everyone back. Evans went on the bench on the weekend, but he's pretty much back, according to Barton. So it should be interesting as well because I don't know if this is true, but apparently Finley's suspended for Tuesday. I don't know if this is true. Apparently he's suspended. I'm not sure. I haven't checked how many yellows he's got, etc. But whether I don't even know the thing with yellow cards now, how many you need. But he got a yellow yesterday. But
did he get
I'm
one?
not sure.
I don't think he got one. Yeah. I did. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, I don't know if it's true or not. People were saying. Hopefully it's not. But even then, it should be interesting to see what happens. Big up to Elliot as well. Thanks for tuning in. Thoughts on the top 3 in playoff race. Predictions for top 7. Well, my top 3, we'll quickly go through it. My top, Forest Green top, even though they lost yesterday. Fair play, Walsall. What a win. Second, I'm going for Exeter. I think Tranmere will drop out. And third, I'm going for Mansfield. And then the rest, I think will be in the playoffs. I think Sutton will drop out. I think Northampton will be in playoffs. And yeah, I can't remember. There's so many to remember. But yeah, Neil, what about you? Do you think it'll stay the same, or the top 3 playoffs, etc.
Well,
I know you did say a few weeks. Let me just get my camera. I dropped my thing. But yeah, what do you make of the playoff race in the top 3, etc.? And have you changed your mind with Rovers about getting in the playoffs, or are you still sticking by it?
I think if you look at it, realistically, I think we're looking at your only hope's really 6th or 7th. I think the rest of it, what's above that sort of takes care of itself. I'm still very much of the opinion that we've got it all to do. If we're going to do it, then if we are going to do it and we're going to sneak in there, then I'd back us to the hilt to go up, because we'll be banging form, because we've got to be near perfect to get in there, really. If you look at people are saying 16 games, got loads of games in hand. That's a throwaway comment. We've got games in hand. You still got to win them, and it ain't as easy as that. We've got to be near on perfect, because we've got a lot of traffic in front of us as well. They're not all going to fall away. So if we are going to get there, and obviously I hope we do, it's going to be a hell of a run to go and do it. So for me, I just think we've left it a little bit too late. Again, I mean, it's the hope that kills you. So it's going to take me a while to buy into the fact that, yeah, we're going to find a way of sneaking in there. So at the minute, I'm still of the opinion that 16 games, are we going to be near on perfect all the way through from what we've seen so far, with the sort of indifferent performance that we have got in us every now and then? Yeah, I think we might have just left it a little bit too late for me.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, and like you said, you still got, of course, one of the games, of course, in hand is Orient yesterday. Like I said, it's not going to be easy. They're going to want to beat us again.
I think Port Vale have got a game in hand on us as well, and they're above us, aren't they?
Yeah, Port Vale got a game in hand as well. And we've still got a lot of tough games to play. Still got Port Vale, still got Forest Green, still got Northampton, still got Newport, still got Exeter. So we'll see how we do with them first.
I think regardless of what we do, we're still going to be relying on others anyway to fall away at the end of the day. It's not technically in our own hands, so to speak. You know what I mean? We're still relying on others to sort of fall away, have a dip sort of thing, no matter how good we are. So it's going to be a hell of a push if we do it. I mean, if we get in there, then I'll be singing that we're going to do it, because the form will be that good that we should probably be favourites to go up if we land in that top 7.
Yeah, I agree. Big up to Kieran as well, saying, yeah, he is suspended for Tuesday, got his 10th yellow card yesterday. So, yeah, he won't be playing Orient Finley. But it'd be good for having, to get him a rest, at least for the big game on Saturday as well. Jack's forward saying, if we were to get playoffs, who do you want? I think it all depends on form, really. You can't say for now who would you want, but it all depends on form come the end of the season. It's all about who wants it more, who turns up, but form will take care of that as well. 7th is on for us, no doubt. Top 3 will be Forest Green, Tranmere, and Exeter, says Tom. Mike saying, I'm hoping Swindon drop out. Having said that, look at what Bolton did last season. Yeah, I don't think we'll lose most of the games. Well, like I said, it's going to be tough. We still got. Hopefully, we don't lose many more games, but it all depends on if we keep playing the way we do. Really. But yeah, Benji, what about you? What's your thoughts? And of course, nearly 50 of you in. So if you are enjoying it, please smash the like button. Do subscribe if you're new to the channel. But yeah, Benji, what do you make of it? Do you think it'll stay the same, and do you think we'll still get in there?
I think we're going to do it. Top 3, I'll go for that first. So I think I'm going to go Forest Green, Exeter, Tranmere, and then the rest of them I'm going to go Mansfield. Who haven't I said yet? Mansfield, Northampton, Rovers, and Newport. I'm going to go 6th. I get why Neil's kind of like protecting his emotions in one point, in one sense, because I know you're kind of like, you don't want to get too hopeful when it's statistically like a long way off. But we're ahead of a curve from Bolton last year. We've got some of the best players in our attacking lineup in the league. We're starting to gel, and there's a lot more to come from us. We do. I think what we've shown now as well, we've got a little bit more resilience as well. So everyone was really worried and saying we weren't going to do it after the Oldham game, but we've literally just ensured that was just a blot in the copybook, and we've turned the corner and not lost a few on the bounce, and we've just made sure it was just a one-off. We've got 16 games. I think we can easily win 10 of them. 30 points. Happy days. Thank you very much. We'll know a lot more after Tuesday as well, because that's another one of our games in hand. And then I think the other one is Crawley. If we win those two right in the picture, actually, I think Port Vale need to go into my prediction as well. By the way, I just think they'll do it. Daryl Clark's just going to. He's got something about him, and I just think he'll just manage to get his team over the line just on his charisma and energy, if anything. So obviously, thoughts with him and his family at this difficult time for them. I think we'll do it. Mathematically, still very possible. And what's football if you don't dream?
Yeah, I agree. Bruno's big up to Bruno as well, even to you. I think we'll get in the playoffs as we have a stronger side. It's not impossible, just difficult. Yeah. If Northampton are in the top 7, though, I definitely would want them in the playoffs. Lars saying hopefully Sutton keep their form up when we get them in the playoffs. Well, hopefully they don't keep their form up then. The Cure Galore saying, agree with Neil, a game in hand is not a guaranteed 3 points. Need to keep momentum and not allow slips like the Oldham game to happen again if we're serious. Yeah, I agree. We can't let anything like that happen again, because that was just out the blue and just terrible. I don't really want to, all that way up there just to see us play like that. It's just a shambles. But hopefully we can just keep everyone fit now. The core, like you said yesterday, Neil, the core of Belly, Taylor, Connolly, Coots and Finley and Collins, then that core bit of our squad is we need to keep. And of course, everyone else as well, likes of Harry Anderson, Coots, Finley, everyone, Elliot Anderson as well. So fingers crossed, touch wood. I rate Port Vale too. To be honest, I rate them, but when they played us, I didn't think they was that good. I just thought of course, Finley got sent off, and yeah, we were just, 2 red cards, obviously a masterclass in red cards for Kean Harries as well, wasn't it? Even into Jamie as well, Bolton had the same points as us this time last season with 16 to go. Really? That is mad. I didn't realise. Big up to Riley as well, bit late, but afternoon. Big up, Riley. Appreciate you tuning in. Don't worry if you're late. You can catch up or just enjoy the rest of the stream, but I appreciate you tuning in. Even into Mr. Tapman as well. Leyton Orient, Neil, Rovers 2, Aaron Collins and Luca Hall will score. Bit of an early prediction. I wouldn't mind that. It'd be nice to get Luca Hall's first goal. Chris as well, who's a Carlisle fan, saying Forest Green first, Exeter, Mansfield top 3, Northampton, Newport, Port Vale, Tranmere in the top 7. Yeah, that's fair enough. It's like we said, we need to be even better than the teams who are above us right now. So yeah, it is going to be tough, but fingers crossed. One side I wouldn't want in the semi-finals is Newport, says Gordo. You can still play a big part of the end too with Vale at the weekend, Newport and Northampton in a few weeks. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hopefully you can do us a favour. Hopefully a few worldy some ups and lines. Maybe Daly can get his first goal as well. Finley's got a temper. It's not his. It's just his game, innit? He's just that type. We've said before. That's just his game. He's one of those players that's an all-round midfielder, always in the action. Always making tackles. I don't mind. It's luckily it's only a one game for 10 yellows, and he just brings everything else with it. His class, his goal, the run where he went run the whole pitch and nearly scored as well. I'm thinking Mansfield or Exeter, Newport, Port Vale, and Rovers. Riley saying, yeah, the gas are going up. Fingers crossed. Maybe Tranmere and Port Vale, says Matt. Kai, big up to Kai as well. Go down the bookies and put us to get promoted. Now I'll just let the team do it itself. No need to put money on. But yeah, of course. As always, keep smashing the like if you're enjoying it as well. Gonna get onto the Orient game in a minute. I didn't realise we was at 40 minutes already. But yeah, big up to 50 of you tuning in. Hope you're enjoying it. Big up to Tom. Would you agree this is our best 11 now? Belly, Hall, Connolly, Taylor, Grant, Coots, Finley, Anderson, Evans, Collins. Pretty much. I think, yeah, even though Nicholson, he misses a lot of chances, he's still pivotal, especially on the right. He's a different sort of player on the right. But Neil, would you agree with that? As the strongest 11?
It's difficult to say in it because you've not put Evans in there with Elliot Anderson to see how they play together and if they complement each other. At the minute of what you've seen so far, the only one I take out to better us is Josh Grant in for Anderton, and I think that there, considering you've got the continuity of how they've played, the two good games that Elliot Anderson's had in there in the 10, I just can't see how you can take him out and just throw Evans back in there, or just go and find a way for Evans to go walk straight back in there. Ultimately, we've played 2 games where we've bossed it from start to finish. The side we're playing against hasn't had a spell. We've managed the game from start to finish, scored goals, created chances, kept clean sheets. Off the back of not going off this course of a whole season, but what we've seen over the course of the last 2 games, that's got to be our best side. I just think Grant suits us more than Anderton as far as ball retention, football IQ, and what he can offer.
Yeah, I agree. Benji, what about you?
I think it's the best 12 for it, really, because I agree with everything Neil said there about not being able to put Evans straight back in. 2 cracking players, but then they both play the same position as their best position. So I think it definitely is. Grant definitely comes in. I love Anderton, great character, but he's kind of like the senior centre back, despite him only being 24 or 25. But Grant offers more going forward than Anderton does. So if it's going to be a tough game, then Anderton could be favoured. But love Anderton, but Grant's got to come in for me there. I don't think you can disrupt Elliot Anderson's development, and when he's playing so well, and the bloke has such high standards as well. Like when you see the relief on his face after that goal, and he's only that was his first goal, and the relief just after only a handful of games shows a high standard he set. So he's going to give you everything in a game. Evans does as well. I think perhaps we might see a different combination on Tuesday night, but I don't think Evans walks back into the team just because of how well Anderson's doing. What a luxury to have both of them.
Yeah, definitely. Even into Matt as well, saying on a side note, Ryan Jones has gone on loan to Bath City. Now at the moment, those Romans are in deep waters and can't win any options on him. Yeah, really good player. Of course, it's sort of going to be hard, especially the form at the moment. I know he's made the bench and made the squad a few times. He's pretty much only featured in the FA Cup and the Pizza Pot Trophy. But what I've seen of him, done very well, made a really good impact for the Oxford game when we were 3-1 down. He was class, looked good in the Checkatrade Trophy as well. So, yeah, hopefully he does well. And hopefully he can come back and try and fight for a position or at least be in the squad. Only 22 points off Forest Green. I think we're finishing top. You never know. Mad things have happened. Jamie Stockley saying 9 wins, 5 losses, 2 draws. I think he means that in the last 16 games. But Nico out of the lineup, he's amazing. Even into Vaughan as well, saying evening fellas, appreciate you tuning in. You'll get playoffs if you play how you did yesterday, win your games in hand, maybe automatics 3rd. Wow, I'd love to finish automatics. It all depends. Hopefully, some of the teams in their place can have bad games. Even into Craig as well. Even the Stevenage commentator. Yeah, I heard about that. We got Port Vale on Tuesday, and we're going to beat them 2-1 with goals from. He looks good, mind that Liam Kelly. I don't know how. He was at Reading like 2-3 years ago, and then he's ended up at Rochdale. Mad player. Bruno saying we need to stick with the same team as it seems to be working and no hoofing up the field. Same on the deck passing, please. Yeah, I agree. I like your enthusiasm, Tom. You're on drugs. Yeah, I think he's only joking anyway, saying us to finish top. No way. I initially predicted a loss versus Orient, but after the weekend, it got me rethinking. Well, should be predicting a gas to lose then, should you? Come on. Jesus. Bruno saying I'll go with a 3-1 win to the Gas on Tuesday. We will get into predictions in a minute. Even into Mitch as well, saying even in legends. But yeah, of course, getting on to the preview. I know we chatted a while about everything else, but it's hard. When you're chatting, the time just flies by. When you're having fun. But yeah, Orient currently in the league table, they're 18th. played one less game than us, won 7, drew 12, lost 10, currently 11 points behind us. Of course, they didn't play on the weekend as a game was called off. And I think 6 of the last 10 games they haven't scored and they haven't won in 10. But even me, I'm not going into this thinking, oh yeah, this is a 4-5-0 win. It's still going to be tough because we've never had the best record against them from what I can remember, especially away from home. And like I said earlier on, they're going to be wanting to get up for it and, get back to winning ways. And they've got some very good and experienced players. We'll quickly go on to the last meeting as well. We do usually do it, but big up to Lewis, who I think is catching up after work. But he said, go and have a look at the lineup to what we played them last time. And it's interesting. Of course, it was a 3-1 loss. Pittman scoring a late penalty after they went 3-0 up in the first half, thanks to goals from Harry Smith, Drennan, and Theo Archibald. And we did play in a 3-4-2-1. So, of course, a lot of this season was 3 at the back. Of course, surprised Joey changed it, really. I thought he was going to be that to stick with it. But fair play, he's changed it, and it's worked for us for the best. Only one loss in 10. So, and of course, we played 4 at the back before that as well. But yeah, Belshaw was in goal, Kilgore, Taylor, Anderson, the 3 centre-backs. Grant was sort of right mid, right wing-back. Finlay, Whelan. Junior Brown, sort of the left wing back, and then Evans and Collins in behind Pittman. So it's changed quite a lot, of course, the formation. How better, Neil, do you think we've gone? And yeah, the sort of momentum and just how much more solid we look with 4 at the back.
Yes, it's night and day, isn't it? It's night and day compared to what it was. I mean, I remember being at the game. I remember looking at my old man after about 25, 30 minutes, thinking, I was thinking, like, looking and thinking, Orient are class. Orient are brilliant. Like, not so much as moving the ball, not so much as their retention, how they played silky stuff, but they were military. Do you know what I mean? They won fouls in good areas. They looked to load the box. They looked for overloads at the back post. They had a certain specific way of playing, and Rovers at that time didn't. We was really disjointed, couldn't really see what we was trying to do. We were sort of playing on vibes rather than anything other than a clear pattern of what we were trying to achieve. And we was conceding from set pieces. That's long gone. I was saying to you, I've been saying for you for a few weeks now, you can throw the ball into our box as many times as you like. I'll back us every day to win that first contact. Get as many corners as you want. Keep throwing it in there. That's where we look. As comfy as we are with the ball and moving it and our retention, the way we defend our back post and the way we defend our box with that core of Belshaw, Taylor, Connolly, Finlay, Coots, keep that. Whatever you do as far as a framework around that in the horseshoe, I'm not too concerned. Keep that. I think we're gold defending. What's that, 3 clean sheets on the spin?
Yeah, 3 clean sheets in a row.
And I just think we're night and day compared to what we looked at Orient. Like, I looked at Orient that day thinking they're going to be there or thereabouts and they've fallen off a cliff. Like, I think they've won a point since Christmas. I think they've been terrible.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's crazy.
It's all there. It's all there for us to do Tuesday. And again, it's another one where we've won 2 on the spin, and we're going to go somewhere on a Tuesday night on the road, and we've got to make sure that we don't do what we did at Oldham. I think we've cracked it. Just got to be on your job and make sure that we've won 2 and don't let ourselves down again.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
So I just think I'll go to Orient on Tuesday night, fully expecting us to pick up 3 points, not through anything of Orient are dire and they can't get a result. But if we're on our job and we go about doing what we need to do, it will be a different task to Stevenage, because they'll get in our face a bit more. They went down with a whimper, Stevenage. Orient won't do that. I think they'll look at Jacket will have time to now. There's been a lot of hype around Anderson over the last 2 days, 2 games, Elliot Anderson, and I think he'll go to Pratley, go and get in this kid's face, go and lift him, see it while he reacts, and you might see him get followed around the pitch a fair bit, and just see how he lives with that, because he's had 2 games of really sitting in that pocket and no one's come to meet him head on. And I just think Jacket, being wily old fox as he is, he might say to someone like Pratley, because Pratley will be in the referee's ear all game anyway. He always is.
Yeah,
he might say to him
last time.
Yeah, he run the game basically. He refereed the whole game. He might say to someone like Pratley, go and get on this kid, lift him, leave a little bit on him, see what his temperament's like, and try and affect his game. Because as good as he is with the ball technically, you've got to try and find a way of affecting him. And if you're not technically as good as him, you're going to have to go and leave a little bit on him and try and do something to affect his game. And I just think Jackett, being the manager he is, he might look at that and just go and get after this kid and see how he deals with it. I fully expect him to deal with it. He looks brilliant with the ball, doesn't he? He looks tidy, doesn't look like anything would affect it, but no one's gone to do that to him yet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? How, I don't know how it's happened. They pretty much kept the. I know maybe I know you just can't blame it all on one player. But I know one of their midfielders. I think it was after the. I think it started to go wrong. It sort of changed us both ways because obviously we had our COVID situation. Then we've done really well since then, but for them, they haven't done well since. So it's gone sort of both ways. I think Daniel Kemp, midfielder they had, he left to go with MK Dons in January. I think that's another big miss. I think they signed someone from Kings Lynn, a midfielder. Don't worry, he didn't play for Rovers or nothing. But yeah, it should be interesting. Getting your thoughts, Benji. What do you, obviously going back last game, what can you remember, and what do you make of them, currently? Why do you think it's gone so wrong for Orient?
Night and day is the right description. I agree on that 100%. I did the Lowdown podcast, so big up to those guys as well, a couple of nights ago. And they were saying, saying on there that it's literally been role reversal. They were asking us for, I can't remember if it was Evans in exchange for Pratley, because I don't know if they're best impressed with him at the moment. But that kind of player is going to be a new challenge, as Neil was saying, for Elliot Anderson. But at the same time, if Elliot Anderson's on the ball, metaphorically speaking, and really on his game, then he can turn him. And we're going to need players like him. Shame we haven't got Findy, because his tenacity and agility would be really key against the 4-4-2. I think they've got Nuble up front now as well, haven't they? As well, so they've got
Nuble on loan from Colchester. That's weird.
Yeah, it's a strange move, isn't it? But anyway, I'm not too concerned about dealing with the physical threat. I think Taylor and Connolly have been fantastic. Connolly heavily underrated. He just goes under the radar, no fuss about his job. So it's more, can we deal with their tactics? Can we break down stubborn defences? I thought Stevenage was going to be a bit more of a battle than it actually turned out to be, but I fully expect that to be a battle. When they've got they've got a manager probably fighting for his job if they don't beat us and they don't beat Carlisle, that could be it for him. And if you look at it from the outside looking in, so I reckon they're gonna be fighting for their places in the team. They're going to be fighting for their manager as well. So away games are never easy apart from Saturday, but it's going to be a tough test, and hopefully we can keep our discipline in line and just stay patient. We'll need people like Nicholson to break down their defence, run across lines, and we'll need someone to be really on form. So hopefully we can do it. Yeah,
I agree. Big up to Doug as well. I appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you go and subscribe to him. A lot of really good content. Good guy as well. Matt saying I had an English teacher who's an Orient fan, lives local to Muller Road, I think, up the Muller Road. And Barton, we must trust, absolutely. If we can keep out from, I'm going 3-1 Rovers. Yeah, we will get into predictions more in a sec. What happened to Orient? They were like top four. I swear they were when they played us. They was on amazing form.
It was third. They played us.
Yeah, and then they had a bit of a spell where they drew a lot of games, and then last time we actually played them, we did win. It was in the Peter Pan Trophy away from home, and Ali, I think it was Westbrook with like a free kick from like 40 yards, hit the post and then hit the keeper, and then Ali Koike, who's now flourishing at Northampton. Yeah, we won 2-1 last season. We look quality lately. Don't change it if it's working. I think it's helping having Belly. Yeah, agree. Oldham were probably good for us, as we know, not to lose concentration. Exactly. Gas going to beat Orient 2-0, saying Jamie. Big up to Niall as well. Big up to everyone. Hope you're well. Appreciate you tuning in as always. Including clean sheets. No one will do the double over us, including Forest Green Rovers 2-0 win. Yeah, that's it. Dan Kemp, they had a permanent from West Ham, and then they lost him. Yeah, Nuble and his that was when Joey Barton got the abuse from the fact I didn't actually I had to watch it on iFollow. I was ill, so I didn't actually go to the Mem and watch that game. But yeah, that was the video on Twitter, and everyone was like, F off Joey Barton and all that stuff. But getting into lineups, we go with you, Benji. I'm hoping you've got your lineup there, but I'm not sure.
Gas.
Yeah, he's got it. Notepad gas. What are you? If Finley is suspended, like we're hearing, what would you do? And of course, in the comments, let me know. With Finley suspended after picking up his 10th yellow, what would you do? Would you put Anderson in midfield and then put Evans in cam, or what would you do? So get your lineup predictions in the comments below. And yeah, Benji, what are you going for?
Well, if Finley's suspended, then I think the team sheet kind of writes itself, to be honest, because Evans is obviously going to come in if he's fit, and then he will come in for Finley. And then I think you could probably get away with doing it either way, either having Elliot Anderson as the more advanced of the two that sitting in with Coots. I think he plays that role, running around on the ball looking for space and getting his head up and passing quite well. But he's also fantastic as an attacking midfielder. What could see Evans get the nod as Coots' partner is his aggression. And I thought, when he's been bypassed in games recently where it's not been, it's been windy and he's not really been able to play his normal game, he showed us his grit and aggression and tenacity, and that could see him get the nod, like he did away at Colchester as well. So I think it's a tough one to pick, but I probably just, I don't want to disrupt Elliot Anderson, so I'd leave him as the cam and stick Evans in there. I think had we had everyone available, I think he might have looked to rest one person because he can, afford to sort of rotate without making wholesale changes. So that could perhaps been a Nicholson or maybe even a Collins with Loft back now as well. But I think that change makes itself really. It's just a toss up between where you play Evans and Elliot Anderson if Evans is fit enough.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Matt's going with 4-2-3-1, Belshaw, Hall, Taylor, Connolly, Anderton, Coots, and then playing Elliot Anderson in midfield in the centre mid with Coots, Harry Anderson, Evans, Collins, and Loft. So you would drop Nicholson, which is interesting, and bring back Loft into the team, who nearly had a wonder goal yesterday if it wouldn't for the keeper. Whack Loft next to Coots. Yeah, why not? Tool player, physical game. Kieran saying same squad as yesterday, but replacing Finley. I would like Thomas there. That's fair enough. But yeah, Neil, what are you saying? Are you going to make loads or maybe just a one to replace?
No, I don't think you want to disrupt it at all, really. If you couldn't help it, I mean, Finley not being there. For me, I'd put Whelan in there with Coots. To be honest, I just think Tuesday night at Orient, feel him out. Put them two old heads in there. It's a direct replacement, really, for what we're going to do. I know he's not as expansive as what Finley is, but as far as ball retention, football IQ, being able to read a game and suss out what we need to do, that's exactly what Coots did, really, Saturday. He looked at it and he basically said to Finley, I don't need you in here with me now. Just go on one. Get your starting position 10 yards in front of me, go and join him with Elliot Anderson. And we just pressed a little bit higher, won the ball a little bit higher. And when we won it, we started to play in their half far, far more as the game went on. And I think we just got a more solid foundation of putting Whelan in there with Coots, assessing it, and then our bench will be frightening come Tuesday night. I mean, what are you going to looking at? You're looking at, I mean, I'm not his biggest fan, Luke Thomas, but he's an option. He'll be there. You'd have Leon Clark. I don't know if Nolan might make the bench. I don't know if Trevor Clark's back to make the bench, but there's so much to do. I think it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if he plays Loft on Tuesday night just to deal with what sort of Beckles and Arpe might be able to offer as far as a physical threat, and maybe move Collins. I wouldn't personally, but I wouldn't be shocked if Loft starts to deal with that, because Beckles and Arpe could give Collins a real hard time, I think, as far as being back to goal and coming through the back of him, and they're going to want to get right amongst us. But that's the one I'd make. I'd start with Whelan in there with Coots, to be honest. That's the one I'd make.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So only one change from you. I can feel a 40-yard screamer, says Tom. It'd be nice for him to get a long ranger. I agree with Neil. Don't change too much, says Mitchell. Jamie says Whelan in for Finley, only change for me. Vaughan saying 8 years ago. Well, no, it was six years ago. But yeah, 6 years ago, thanks to him, where we are now, he spent a lot of his exactly all the debts we had, etc. For me, I'm going to be different. Why not? I'm going to be different to both of you. Belshaw in goal, same back four of Hall, Taylor, Connolly, Anderton. The midfield, I'm going to drop Elliot Anderson a bit deeper and play him and Coots. On the right, I'll go for Nicholson again. On the left, Anderson. And then I agree with sort of Neil. I think because of the physical battle, I think he'll bring in Loft. Maybe not. Obviously, this is only guessing. We don't have a clue. But bring in Loft up front and then Collins in behind. And then we can sort of change it. It'd be nice. Yeah, I just think because of the, like you said, Neil, bit of a physical battle. But then, I wouldn't be surprised if he put Whelan in there and just made the one change, or if he does something else. Who knows? That would be for me. But yeah, getting on to score predictions. Get your score predictions in the comments again. Let us know what you think. Big up to Harry as well. Can't not start Nicholson. He's been on fire. Yeah, exactly. Keep playing him, even though there is loads of games coming up. But yeah, getting on to score predictions. Going with you, Benji, first. What are you saying for Tuesday night?
Excuse the dog whining in the background. I was just trying to get him to shut up then. He's been fed. I don't know what he's moaning about on the gas one, so he's got to be happy. 2-1 Rovers. Look at Orient. You do wonder, though. Like, so they're 23rd in the form table over the last 10 games, and obviously they're 18th in the table. They've lost 7 games out of 10. They're not bad at home. I think they're 13th in the overall home standings in the form table. But you always think with that, is that kind of like a catch-22, because is this going to be the game where they pluck something out of nowhere, a bit like Oldham? But I think we have to beat them on paper. It's just about whether we have the physicality and the mindset to do it. I think we will. I think there's a great feeling around that dressing room at the moment, and Barton will have him bang out for this one again. And I'm backing us. I just think we're going to score a couple of goals because we look so good up front, and that's without being at full tilt. They'll probably shit elsewhere at some point, won't they? Being the 4-4-2 classic side that they are. So 2-1 Rovers. Yeah,
that's fair enough. Getting into a few predictions already in the comments. Matt's is saying, I'm thinking 1-1, but won't pencil it in yet. Mitch saying 4-1 to the mighty Gas, up the Gas. Tom Riddle saying 3-1 to Rovers. Jack's forward saying Gas 3-1 win. Collins, Nicholson and Paul Coots chest and top volley. Kai saying, Benji, what's your opinion on Darren? Well, we've literally went over it. Because you was pretty shocked, weren't you? Because he sign a new contract recently.
Yeah, kind of shocked and not. And I'm just looking at some friends' reaction, and they think it's the right decision, but obviously they're sad at the same time. They've brought 4 promotions to them. I think he's had a rough time because they haven't got the investment they need to stay where they are, and they don't have the ability to afford 20, 30, 40Ks a week's worth of wages, which is what they need to get there to attract the players that they need to stay up. So they're going to need some investment. Ferguson, some posh fans are saying to me that that they don't adapt very well their style of play, and they're trying to play the same way brand of football they did in League One, but then they aren't able to make themselves more compact and grind out wins or snatch goals. They're not scoring goals. JCH is it doesn't look very fit at the moment, and it doesn't look as interested as he was before. So maybe the change will do them good, but I don't think they've. Do they have the quality to stay up? They're going to have a real upturn in form to do that. And Reading just won. Derby are above them now as well. I think it's probably the right decision. Giving them a new contract was the wrong decision when they were in the relegation zone. And they'll have that little bloke Lee Johnson coming now, won't they? Probably.
Yeah, it would be funny if he went there. But yeah, bit of an interest. I would have sacked him months ago. He's not. It is hard though when they haven't got. They've definitely got the lowest budget in that league. So yeah, it is an interesting one. But yeah, Neil, what are you going for?
I don't know. If we play the way we've played in the last 2 games, we go out and do that, create the chance we've been creating, keep the ball off of another side. They're struggling like hell. No, 9-0, something like that. No, I don't know. I don't know. 2-0. I just think if we turn up and we're on our job and we don't go there and think we've cracked it and we're intense from the start, with what they've got as far as an attacking threat, if they play Smith and Newball up top, they love crosses, they feed off crosses, and to be honest, that suits Rovers down to the ground. Throw it in there. I just think that's perfect for us at the minute. Defensively, like I don't have a problem with us defensively, like defending our box. We're unreal. And with what we're creating and what we're doing, if we can get a strangle on that game early doors, we could run it again from start to finish. So yeah, I'll go 2-0.
2-0. Yeah, that's fair enough. For me, it's a tough one. It is a tough one. Like I said, I don't think it'll be easy. Like we all said, physical team. They're going to be wanting to win, get back-to-back wins. Of course, if they probably lose one or two more games, then they'll be gone. But for me, I'm going to go 2-0. 2-0 Rovers. I think we're getting early goal. I think it'll be a bit of a squeaky bum time, and then I think we'll get a late goal as well. So, yeah, 2-0 for me. I'll go with Collins and Elliot Anderson to score again. Get some more comments in. Wayne saying 2-2 for me won't be easy against Orient. Yeah, I agree. Tom saying 7-0, so not far off Nils 9-0. Jacob X. No, Tom saying 3-1. Yeah, hope it'd be nice to get a repeat of what they did to us. So yeah, 3-1 from Tom. Jacob X saying 1-0. Gas, Sammy Nicholson to get a goal at last. Matt has changed it now. He's penciled in another prediction and he's going 2-1 Rovers. Kai's another prediction of 4-1 Rovers from Kai. Tisdale, what's the score? 4-0 is the score. Winning Hog Williams saying 3-0 Rovers. So yeah, a lot of people, confident. We should be confident. Played well, like you said, Neil. As long as we don't do anything stupid or think we've cracked it like we did against Oldham, we'll just have a really, really terrible night. Then hopefully we if we play like we did, try and keep it on the ground. I know they're going to want to hoof it like they did to us in the home game. Then hopefully we can get the result. Fingers crossed. Tom,
I don't think you'll get that attitude though. Now on this Tuesday night, you won't get that attitude. If you've got Belly, if you've got that back four, I know you've not got Finley, but if you've got Coots in there with Whelan, two old heads, game management, they know the football IQ, they know what they're at. I just don't think that'll happen. I think Jacola Harries it was a cannon, wasn't it, from start to finish. I just don't think you'll get that with that framework. 3 clean sheets on the spin. They know what they're at. They're well drilled. It's military stuff, I think, the way we defend now with that. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, as long as you just play like we've been doing. But yeah, Tom saying 2-0. Kai saying if we're playing Stevenage on a Tuesday night, saying 10-0 Rovers. Well, unluckily, we're not playing them on a Tuesday night. Christopher saying, I'll take a squeaky bum 1-0 away win on a Tuesday night in League 2. Absolutely. I agree. I'd take a scrappy 1-0 win. Absolutely. Keep smashing the like. So stream going to be over in a minute, but I appreciate everyone that's tuned in. Currently 55 of you. So if we can get 55 likes, that would be quality. And I really appreciate that. We know how to do it with hoofball now. 2-0 Rovers. Tom's going. Got faith for Gas, Charlie promotion coming. Hopefully. Yeah, exactly. Anzi, Harry's, and no Taylor. Yeah. Emphasis on Harry's. Class little video of Wheelo just been put on Gas Twitter. Love to see it. But yeah, I'm going to pretty much end it now. Appreciate everyone that's tuned in. Like I said, support is amazing as always. I think we're only about 63 away from 4,200, which is mad. So appreciate everyone that always tunes in, and of course all the other support on the other videos. Appreciate Benji and Neil for coming on, and like I said, everyone for tuning in. Smash the like, subscribe if you're new. I'll try and get a match day vlog out. I've managed to fix my phone, and I've got a new battery for it, so hopefully that won't annoy me anymore. And
this time I'll try, instead of doing one like when I get home or in the next day, I'll try and do one like straight after the game as well. So I think that'll be a lot easier. But yeah, back on Wednesday, of course, for the review of this game and the Exeter preview. Of course, another big game. But yeah, for now, like I said, appreciate this class support and up the gas.
Up the gas.